What if I told you there's a goddess who rides a lion, born from the power of every god to destroy a demon no one else could defeat? This isn't a modern fantasy epic. This is the ancient tale of Durga, a story of divine intervention when the cosmos itself was on the brink of collapse. It's a legend that is echoed through millennia, a testament to the power of collective will and the ultimate triumph of light over darkness. Long ago, the world was trembling under the oppressive rule of Mahishasura, the formidable buffalo demon. He was a being of immense power, granted a boon that made him nearly invincible, and no man or god could kill him. This single protection allowed him to wage a war of cosmic proportions, and the heavens themselves felt his wrath. His power was unmatched, his army of asuras was unstoppable, and the shadow of fear spread across the three worlds. The Devas, the celestial gods who maintained cosmic order, found themselves powerless against his onslaught. Their weapons were useless, their strength was insufficient. One by one, they fell back, their celestial kingdoms conquered, and their authority shattered. Even the gods, the mighty trinity of Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva, were forced to retreat, watching as chaos and tyranny consumed creation. The very balance of the universe teetered on the edge of a knife. In desperation, the gods sought refuge. They gathered on a sacred mountain peak, their divine forms diminished, their spirits heavy with despair. The universe was groaning under Mahishasura's heel, and they had failed to protect it. It was in this moment of utter hopelessness that a radical idea was born. If no single god could defeat the demon, perhaps the sum of all their powers could. Pooling their divine energies, they unleashed a torrent of cosmic force. From Brahma, the creator, came a fiery red glow. From Vishnu, the preserver, a stream of brilliant blue light. From Shiva, the destroyer, a blinding white incandescence. The energies of Indra, Varuna, Agni, and every other deva joined the confluence, merging into a single, blazing sphere of unimaginable power. The light grew, pulsing with the combined might of the entire pantheon, a supernova of divine essence. From that glorious light, a new being was born, Durga. She emerged fully formed, radiant, powerful, and majestic. Her form was blindingly beautiful, yet her presence was immensely formidable. She was a goddess unlike any other, not born from a womb, but forged from the collective will and spiritual energy of the gods. Her face, serene and luminous, was shaped from the light of Shiva. Her 10 arms, symbolizing her ability to protect her devotees from all directions, were a gift from Vishnu. Her feet were formed from the essence of Brahma. Each god bestowed upon her their most potent weapons. Shiva gave her his trident, the Trishula. Vishnu gifted her his Sudarshana chakra, a discus of solar fire. Vayu, the wind god, presented her with a bow and arrows. And Indra, the king of gods, gave her his thunderbolt, the Vajra. The mighty Himalayas gifted her a magnificent lion to serve as her Vahana, or mount, a symbol of her courage and unrestrained power. Clothed in a shimmering red sari and adorned with celestial jewels, Durga stood as the physical embodiment of Shakti, the primordial cosmic energy, the divine feminine power that moves the universe. She was the answer to the gods' prayers, the universe's last hope against the encroaching darkness. Her roar echoed through the heavens, a challenge to the demon king and a promise of liberation for all. Have you ever heard of a goddess so powerful that all the gods combined their might to create her? Today, we journey into the heart of Hindu mythology to uncover the epic story of Durga, the lion-riding warrior goddess who is the ultimate symbol of light triumphing over darkness. Long ago, a powerful demon named Mahishasura terrorized the heavens and the earth. He had obtained a boon that made him invincible to any man or god. The world was plunged into chaos, and despair spread like a wildfire. The gods, defeated and helpless, knew they needed a new kind of power, something the universe had never seen before. So they pooled their divine energies, a brilliant light that coalesced into a magnificent, 10-armed goddess. This was Durga. She was breathtaking, yet her presence commanded ultimate respect and power. But she wasn't created empty-handed. Each god bestowed upon her their most formidable weapon. Lord Shiva gave her his mighty trident, the Trishula. Lord Vishnu gave her his unstoppable discus, the Sudarshana chakra. Indra, the king of gods, gifted her his thunderbolt, the Vajra. Vayu, the god of wind, gave her a bow and arrow, and the Himalayas gifted her a majestic, fierce lion to ride, a symbol of courage and unyielding strength. Armed with these divine weapons and seated upon her lion, Durga was more than just a warrior. She was the embodiment of Shakti, the primordial cosmic feminine energy that creates, sustains, and transforms the universe. Her creation wasn't just about fighting a demon. It was about restoring balance, about proving that no evil, no matter how powerful, can withstand the collective force of righteousness and divine feminine power. When Mahishasura, the buffalo demon, saw her, he laughed, underestimating her because she was a woman. What he didn't realize was that he was facing the combined power of the entire pantheon of gods, channeled through one supreme being. He sent his massive armies, demons of every shape and size, to attack her. But with a calm and determined smile, Durga and her lion effortlessly decimated them. She swung her 10 arms, each wielding a different weapon with perfect precision, creating a storm of divine justice that left no enemy standing. Finally, Mahishasura himself, enraged and bewildered, charged at her. He shape-shifted, turning from a buffalo to a lion to an elephant, trying to confuse and overpower her. But Durga was unfazed. The battle raged for 9 days and 9 nights, shaking the very foundations of the cosmos. On the 10th day, with a mighty roar that echoed through the 3 worlds, Durga pinned the demon down with her foot, pierced his heart with Shiva's trident, and with one swift stroke of her sword she ended his reign of terror forever. The gods rejoiced, the sages sang her praises, and balance was restored to the universe. Durga's victory is celebrated every year during the festival of Durga Puja and Navaratri, a vibrant 9-night celebration of good over evil. Her story is a timeless reminder that within each of us lies a spark of this divine energy, Shakti. It teaches us that courage, strength, and righteousness can overcome any obstacle. Durga isn't just a goddess from an ancient tale. She is an eternal symbol of hope, a protector of the innocent, and the ultimate champion against the forces of darkness. In the swirling chaos of the ancient cosmos, a new and terrible evil began to take shape. This was no ordinary demon, no mere foot soldier of darkness. This was Mahishasura, the buffalo demon, whose ambition was as vast as the universe itself. His story begins not with a whimper, but with a roar that shook the very foundations of the heavens. Mahishasura was driven by an insatiable hunger for power. He undertook severe penances, his focus unwavering, his goal singular, to become immortal, untouchable, the supreme master of all existence. For years, he stood on one leg, meditated amidst raging fires, and braved the harshest elements. His discipline was so intense that it caught the attention of Brahma, the creator of the universe. Pleased by his devotion, Brahma appeared before him and offered him a boon. With a cunning heart, Mahishasura asked for a gift that he believed was the key to absolute power. He didn't ask for a simple immortality, knowing it was rarely granted. Instead, he asked that no man or god could ever be the cause of his death. He envisioned a future where he was invincible, where the combined might of all the gods in the celestial realms would be utterly useless against him. Brahma, bound by his word, granted the boon. And with that single act, the cosmic balance was shattered. Mahishasura's power swelled to unimaginable levels. The boon, once a reward for his penance, now became a weapon of cosmic terror. He was no longer just a demon. He was a force of nature, a walking apocalypse. His very presence warped reality, and his laughter echoed with the sound of impending doom. With his newfound invincibility, Mahishasura's arrogance grew boundless. He saw the universe not as a home to be shared, but as a kingdom to be conquered. His first target was his own kind. He united the asuras, the demons, under his banner, crushing all who opposed him and forging a terrifying army. His might was absolute, his will iron, but his ambition didn't stop there. He looked to the heavens, to the luminous realm of the gods, and saw it as the ultimate prize. With his demonic legions at his back, he launched a full-scale invasion of Svargaloka, the celestial abode. The war was brutal and swift. The gods, the Devas, fought with all their might. Indra, the king of the gods, hurled his thunderbolt. Vayu, the wind god, unleashed mighty tempests. But it was all in vain. Every weapon, every divine power, simply glanced off Mahishasura. He was untouchable, a walking fortress of demonic energy. He laughed as he swatted away celestial astras like they were flies. One by one, the gods fell before him, not slain, but utterly defeated and humiliated. Their power was meaningless against a being who could not be harmed by any god. The heavens trembled, and the celestial cities fell silent under his tyrannical rule. Driven from their home, the gods became cosmic refugees. They wandered the earth in despair, their divine light dimmed by defeat. Mahishasura, now seated on Indra's throne, declared himself the undisputed ruler of heaven, earth, and the netherworld. He reveled in his victory, his arrogance poisoning the cosmos. He believed he had achieved the impossible, that no power in existence could ever challenge him. He was wrong. In their darkest hour, the defeated gods pooled their desperation. They realized that no single one of them could stand against Mahishasura. If no asterisk man asterisk or asterisk god asterisk could defeat him, perhaps something else could. They gathered at the sacred banks of the Ganges, their minds uniting in a single desperate prayer. From their combined divine energies, a new light began to emerge, a light of incredible brilliance and power, a light that would herald the arrival of a savior the universe had never seen before. A force was awakening, born from celestial fury and divine hope, to answer the challenge of the invincible demon. The stage was set for an epic battle, not just of strength, but of light against an overwhelming darkness. Have you ever heard of a battle so epic it shook the very foundations of the cosmos? A fight not just of strength, but of good versus evil, light versus darkness. Today, we journey back in time to witness the legendary tale of Durga, the invincible goddess, and her monumental clash with the demon king Mahishasura. Imagine a world shrouded in fear. The heavens, the earth, and the netherworld all trembled under the tyranny of Mahishasura. This shape-shifting buffalo demon had become so powerful that even the greatest gods were helpless against him. Granted a boon that no man or god could defeat him, he seemed unstoppable. The universe was on the brink of eternal darkness. The gods, defeated and desperate, combined their divine energies, their powers flowing together like a river of light. From this celestial fire, a warrior goddess was born, radiating a light more brilliant than 1,000 suns. This was Durga, the unassailable, the embodiment of divine feminine power, or Shakti. The gods armed her for the fight of ages. Shiva gave her his trident, Vishnu his discus, Vayu his bow and arrows, and Indra his thunderbolt. Each deity bestowed upon her their most formidable weapon, making her the ultimate champion of divine justice. Her form was magnificent with multiple arms, each holding a celestial weapon, her face serene yet fierce, and her eyes holding the fire of creation and destruction. For her steed, the mighty Himalayas gifted her a ferocious lion, a symbol of courage and strength. Seeing her, the gods knew hope was not lost. A stage was set for a confrontation that would decide the fate of all existence. The heavens thundered as Durga, mounted on her majestic lion, descended upon the battlefield. The demon king Mahishasura laughed, seeing a woman dare to challenge him. He underestimated the cosmic power she represented, and so the clash began. It wasn't just a battle. It was a cosmic ballet of power and strategy. For 9 relentless days and 9 tumultuous nights they fought. The world held its breath. Mahishasura was a master of illusion, changing his form from a giant to an elephant to a buffalo, trying to confuse and overwhelm her. But Durga, with her divine wisdom, saw through every deception. Each roar of her lion, Simha, was a seismic shockwave that shook mountains and made the oceans churn. Each powerful strike of her trident split the skies, unleashing torrents of divine energy. She moved with a grace that defied the sheer destructive force she wielded. She countered his every move, her 10 arms a blur of motion, her weapons finding their mark with unerring accuracy. The demon army, once seemingly infinite, was decimated by her fury. The earth itself groaned under the weight of their colossal struggle. This was more than a physical fight. It was a war of ideologies, the chaos of ego versus the order of righteousness. Finally, on the 10th day, a day that would forever be known as Vijayadani, the day of victory, the climax arrived. Mahishasura, in his most ferocious buffalo form, charged at Durga one last time, intending to end it all. But the goddess was ready. With a calm resolve and a powerful war cry that echoed through the 3 worlds, she met his charge. In a single fluid motion, she pinned the mighty demon to the ground with her foot. Then, with the divine strength of the cosmos flowing through her, she pierced her trident straight through Mahishasura's chest. A final, agonized roar escaped the demon as his reign of terror ended. He fell, and as he did, the darkness that had consumed the world dissipated. Light, pure and brilliant, returned, bathing the universe in its warm, life-giving glow. The gods rained flowers from the heavens, and celestial music filled the air. Peace was restored. Durga's victory is celebrated to this day during the festival of Durga Puja and Navaratri, reminding us that no matter how powerful darkness seems, the light of courage, righteousness, and truth will always prevail. Her story is a timeless inspiration that the power to overcome evil lies within us all. Have you ever felt like you were facing an unbeatable monster, a challenge so huge it seemed impossible to overcome? In the grand theater of ancient myths, there's a story that speaks directly to that feeling. It's the story of Durga, the lion-riding goddess, a beacon of hope and power in a world threatened by darkness. This isn't just a tale from long ago. It's a timeless epic about the courage that lives within us all. Imagine a world thrown into chaos. A powerful buffalo demon, Mahishasura, had gained a boon that made him invincible. No man or god could defeat him. Drunk on his power, he conquered the heavens, casting out the gods and plunging the cosmos into despair. The universe was on the brink of collapse. It was in this darkest hour, when all hope seemed lost, that the gods combined their divine energies, their powers, and their righteous anger to create a force unlike any other. From this brilliant confluence of divine light emerged a warrior goddess, resplendent and fierce, with multiple arms, each holding a powerful weapon gifted by the gods. This was Durga, whose name means the invincible or the inaccessible. She was the universe's answer to an unstoppable force, a manifestation of pure, unadulterated divine feminine power known as Shakti. Her very presence radiated an aura of calm authority and fierce determination. But she wasn't alone. For her mount, she chose the king of beasts, a majestic lion. This lion is far more than just a ride. It represents courage, strength, and willpower. It's the untamed, fierce determination needed to confront evil head-on. Together, Durga on her lion is the perfect image of controlled power and righteous fury, a symbol that true strength comes not from brute force, but from a combination of wisdom, courage, and a will guided by dharma or righteousness. The battle that followed was legendary. For 9 days and 9 nights, the earth and heavens trembled as Durga fought Mahishasura and his demonic armies. The demon king was a shapeshifter, changing his form from a buffalo to a lion to an elephant, trying every trick to deceive and overpower her. But Durga, with the wisdom of the gods and her unshakable resolve, met his every move with grace and power. She wasn't just fighting a physical battle, she was fighting a battle of wits, illusion, and ego. Finally, as Mahishasura returned to his terrifying buffalo form, charging with all his might, Durga pinned him down with her foot, pierced him with her trident, and with a swift move of her sword, she severed his head. The moment his head fell, silence descended. Then, a wave of relief and joy washed over the universe. The gods returned to the heavens, balance was restored, and light once again triumphed over darkness. This victory is celebrated even today in the festival of Durga Puja and Navaratri, a vibrant, joyous celebration of good's victory over evil. But Durga's victory symbolizes so much more than just a single battle. It represents the eternal triumph of good over evil, of knowledge over ignorance, of cosmic balance over chaos. Mahishasura represents the ego, the inner demons of arrogance, greed, and selfishness that reside within all of us. Durga's fight is our own internal struggle to overcome these negative forces. Her lion, that powerful companion, is not just an animal. It's a symbol of the courage that lies dormant within every soul, waiting to be awakened to face our own darkness. Riding this lion of courage, Durga shows us that we have the power to conquer our own Mahishasuras. She is the divine mother who protects her children, but also the fierce teacher who empowers them to fight their own battles. Her story reminds us that no matter how terrifying the demon, how dark the night, the light of courage and righteousness within us can and will prevail. Have you ever heard of a goddess so powerful she was created by the combined might of all the gods? A warrior queen riding a lion into battle, her 10 arms wielding divine weapons to vanquish an seemingly invincible demon? This is the story of Durga, a central figure in Hinduism, and a symbol of strength, courage, and the ultimate victory of good over evil. The tale begins in a time of great despair. A powerful demon king, Mahishasura, had been granted a boon that no man or god could ever defeat him. Intoxicated by his power, he wreaked havoc across the heavens and the earth, casting out the gods and plunging the world into darkness. The gods, defeated and desperate, combined their divine energies, their Shakti, to create a new, supreme power. From this incredible convergence of light and energy, the goddess Durga emerged, radiant and formidable. The gods bestowed upon her their most powerful weapons. Shiva gave her his trident, Vishnu his discus, Vayu his bow and arrows, and Indra his thunderbolt. The king of the Himalayas gifted her a magnificent lion to serve as her mount. Armed and ready, Durga descended to the battlefield, her presence alone shaking the foundations of Mahishasura's kingdom. The demon king, amused at first by the sight of a woman challenging him, sent his armies to dispatch her. But one by one, Durga, with a calm yet fierce determination, annihilated his demonic forces. The battlefield turned into a testament to her power, a dance of destruction against the forces of darkness. Finally, Mahishasura himself, in his terrifying buffalo form, charged at her. A cosmic battle ensued, shaking the very core of the universe. For 9 days and 9 nights, the goddess and the demon king fought. Mahishasura was a master of illusion, changing forms to trick and overpower her, but Durga, the embodiment of cosmic truth, saw through every deception. On the 10th day, with a mighty roar that echoed through creation, she finally pinned the demon king down and, with a single, decisive strike of her trident, ended his reign of terror. Light returned, the gods were restored to their rightful place, and balance was brought back to the universe. This epic victory is not just an ancient story. It's a living tradition celebrated every year with immense devotion and joy across India and the world. This festival is known as Durga Puja, or Navaratri, meaning 9 nights. For these 9 nights, millions of people come together in a vibrant explosion of culture, faith, and community. Intricately crafted idols of Durga, depicting her epic battle, are installed in elaborate temporary structures called pandals. The air buzzes with the sounds of devotional songs, rhythmic drum beats, and joyous chants. People dress in their finest clothes, visit different pandals to admire the artistry, and offer prayers to the goddess. The festival is a feast for the senses. Families and friends gather to share delicious food, and traditional dances like Pigarba and Dandai Raz fill the nights with energy and color. It's a time of spiritual renewal, a reminder that no matter how powerful darkness may seem, the light of courage, truth, and righteousness will always prevail. The 10th day, known as Vijayadami or Dusara, marks the climax of the festival, the day of Durga's ultimate victory. It is a celebration of the triumph of light over darkness, good over evil, and knowledge over ignorance. The story of Durga reminds us all that within each of us lies a spark of divine strength, capable of overcoming any obstacle. In the heart of ancient Thales, where gods and demons clash, one name rings out with the power of 1,000 suns: Durga. But who is this lion-riding goddess, whose story has captivated millions for millennia? Let's journey back to a time when darkness threatened to consume the world. The universe trembled under the tyranny of a shape-shifting demon king, Mahishasura. He was powerful, cunning, and thanks to a special boon, nearly invincible. No man or god could defeat him. The heavens fell silent, the earth groaned in despair, and hope seemed like a distant memory. The gods, defeated and desperate, combined their divine energies. From this magnificent confluence of power, a radiant light burst forth, and from that light, a warrior goddess emerged, unlike any the world had ever seen. This was Durga. She was breathtakingly beautiful, yet her calm demeanor held an unyielding strength. The gods bestowed upon her their most powerful weapons. Shiva gave his trident, Vishnu his discus, Vayu his bow and arrow. The king of the Himalayas gifted her a majestic lion, a symbol of courage and royalty, to be her divine mount. Armed and ready, Durga rode into battle, her 10 arms wielding celestial weapons, her eyes blazing with righteous fury. The confrontation with Mahishasura was an epic battle of cosmic proportions. The demon king shifted his form, from a mighty buffalo to a fearsome lion, then an elephant, trying to deceive and overpower her. But Durga was his match in every way. With divine skill and unwavering determination, she countered his every move. The battle raged for 9 days and 9 nights, shaking the very foundations of the cosmos. On the 10th day, in a final decisive clash, Durga, with the roar of her lion echoing through the universe, cornered Mahishasura. With a single powerful strike of her trident, she defeated the undefeatable, liberating the heavens and the earth from his reign of terror. This victory wasn't just about defeating a demon. It was a powerful symbol of good triumphing over evil, of light piercing through the thickest darkness. It's a story that reminds us that no matter how daunting the challenge, courage and righteousness will always prevail. Today, this victory is celebrated in the vibrant festival of Durga Puja or Navaratri. For 9 nights, people celebrate her 9 forms, each representing a different aspect of her divine power. It's a time of immense joy, feasting, and community, where intricate idols of Durga defeating Mahishasura are worshipped in elaborate temporary structures called pandals. The air is filled with the sound of drums, hymns, and laughter. It's more than a festival. It's a living, breathing celebration of feminine power, strength, and the ultimate victory of good. But the legacy of Durga extends far beyond ancient scriptures and festive celebrations. She lives on, not just in temples or stories, but in the hearts of every person who stands up for what is right, who fights against injustice, and who protects the vulnerable. Her story reminds us that divine strength isn't about mere destruction. It's about restoring balance, protecting Dharma, and having the courage to face our own inner demons. Durga's roar echoes through time, a timeless reminder that light, no matter how faint it may seem, will always return to conquer the darkness. She is the embodiment of hope, the promise that even in our darkest moments, there is a source of infinite strength within us, waiting to be awakened. She is the mother, the protector, the warrior who inspires us to be brave. So the next time you feel overwhelmed by the challenges of life, remember the lion-riding goddess. Remember her unyielding spirit and know that you too possess the power to overcome any obstacle. Thank you so much for joining us on this incredible journey into the story of Durga. If you enjoyed this video and want to explore more epic tales, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Hit that notification bell so you never miss an adventure. Until next time, stay curious and stay brave.